right, for our notes today, we're going to do a joke worksheet. We're doing multi-step equations with fractions. So we did the two-step equations with fractions. We cleared them, no problem. Then we did just regular multi-step equations. Now we're going to combine them. So same steps, distribute, clear the fractions, combine like terms, get the variables together, undo addition and subtraction, undo multiplication and division. So on this sheet, we're going to do all the odd ones together, and then there's going to be 4 even ones for you to try out. And again, your answer should match up with the answer options on the back. So on number 1, our two fractions have a denominator of 3 and 2. So we need a common denominator that we could use, 6, right? So we're going to multiply everything by 6. Now, old Mr. Plant prefers to start at the bottom. 3 goes into 6 2 times, and then 2 times 8 would be 16. So we have 16x minus 4 isn't even a fraction. Well, it could be 4 over 1, but we could just do a regular 6 times regular 4, which is 24. And then 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 3 times 5 is 15. So here's our new equation, 16x minus 24 equals 15. What's left is a two-step equation. So we're going to get rid of minus 24 by adding 24. 16x equals 5 plus 4 is 9, 1 plus 2 is 3. And then we just have to divide out that 16. And 16 and 39, they don't have anything in common except for 1. So we can just leave it 39 sixteenths. So let's try number 3. Again, it's a two-step equation after we clear the fractions. We have 10, 4, and 20. So we need a number that all of those go into. You could multiply them all together. 4 times 10 is 40, times 20 is 800. You could use 800, but they all go into 20. So we're just going to be working with much smaller numbers if we use 20. 10 goes into 20 twice, and 2 times 9 would be 18. Minus 4 goes into 25 times, and 5 times 7 is 35. So 35x equals 20 goes into 21 times, and 1 times 11 is 11. Subtract that 18. Negative 35x. 11 minus 18 is negative 7. And then we just have to divide by negative 35 on both sides. Negative divided by negative is positive, and 7/35 could reduce to 1/5. Because 7 goes into 7 one time, 7 goes into 35 5 times. All right. Again, we're going to do the odd ones together. We're just odd like that. And then you could try out those even ones. So number 5, we're going to distribute before we clear the fractions. When you multiply a fraction times a fraction, remember you just multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. So 5 times 9 is 45, 6 times 10 is 60. If you want, you can simplify that, but let's kind of see where we're at after this step. 5/6 times 3/5, 5 times 3 is 15, 6 times 5 is 30. Cool. We have the plus 10 equals 4/3. So we could use a common denominator here, or you can simplify these fractions first. It might be easier on this one to simplify the fractions first. 45 and 60 have 15 in common. Again, you can use anything that they have in common when you're reducing them. 15 goes into 45 3 times, 15 goes into 60 4 times. 15/30 is just 1/2. So we're working with smaller numbers. We need one that 2, 3, and 4 go into, which could be 12. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 times 3 would be 9, 9x. 2 goes into 12 6 times, and 6 times 1 is 6. 10, we're just going to do 12 times 10, which is 120. And then 4 goes into 12 3 goes into 12 4 times, and 4 times 4 is 16. Here's our new equation, no fractions. Let's combine some like terms here. We can combine the 6 plus 120, which would be 126. Then we're going to have to subtract that 126. 9x equals negative, let's see, 126 minus 16 is 110, so negative 110. And then divide that by the 9. These don't have anything in common. Remember, if you're seeing it, only factors of 9 are 1, 3, and 9. 3 goes into 9. So if you're checking 3, the sum of the digits, 1, 1, and 0, has to be divisible by 3, and 1 plus 1 plus 0 is 2. That's why we did all those divisibility things back in the day. So we can't simplify this. So we have negative 110 over 9. Awesome. We're cruising. Number 7. Whoa, nothing to distribute, but we have a ton of fractions. All right, let's look at our numbers. 4, 20, and 40 all go into 40, so we can use 40. 8 and 5 go into 40. Let's just use 40. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 5 times 7 would be 35. Minus 5 goes into 40 8 times, and 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 40 goes into 40 1 time. 1 times 37 is 37. Equals 4 goes into 40 10 times. 10 times 7 is 70. Minus 20 goes into 40 2 times. And 2 times 13 is 26. Wow. All right. Let's combine some like terms. I see 35x plus 37x. That would be 72x minus 16. We can't combine anything on the right side. 70 minus 26x. Then we got to get the variables on the same side. You could get rid of 72x by subtracting it, or you can get rid of negative 26x by adding it. Either way works. I'm going to add 26x. So that would give us 98x minus 16 equals 70. All right, we're down to a two-step equation. We'll add 16. 98x equals 86. And then our last step is just divide by 98. Now these are both even numbers, which means they're both divisible by 2. So half of 86 would be 43, half of 98 would be 49. And then 43 and 49, they don't have any common factors except for 1, but we don't need to keep saying they don't have any common factors except for 1. We don't count 1 when we're simplifying fractions. All right, last one, number 9. Pretty tough one. We have 4/5 times 7. If you're multiplying a fraction by a whole number, you just multiply the whole number up top, because it's like 7 over 1. So 7 times 4 is 28. So this would be 28/5 minus 4/5 times negative 10/3. 4 times 10 is 40. 5 times 3 is 15. No, that one is there. We can simplify that. They're both divisible by 5, but we'll see if we need to. We have the minus 5 equals 11/2 x plus 1/4. Sure, it would probably be beneficial to simplify that. 40 and 15 are both divisible by 5. So if we did that, 40 divided by 5 is 8. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So now looking at the denominators, we have 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that 2, 4, and 5 all go into 20, but 3 doesn't. So what's a multiple of 20 that 3 does go into? 60. We can use 60. 5 goes into 60 12 times. I don't know what 12 times 28 is. Let me get a calculator just to make it quick. 12 times 28, 336. Minus 3 goes into 60 20 times. When we're doing 20 times 8, just do 2 times 8, 16, and then throw a 0 on it. 20 times 8 is 160. Minus, this isn't a fraction, it's not written as a fraction, so we can just do 60 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30, so 60 times 5 would be 300. 2 goes into 60 30 times, the 30 times 11 would be 330. X plus 4 goes into 60 15 times, and 15 times 1 is 15. Alright, my face is in the way down there. Typical Mr. Plant. Let me scooch down a little bit. Alright, combining our like terms. So we have the negative 160x. There are no other x's here. 336 minus 300 would be 36. Let's get the x's on the same side. We'll add 160x. 36 equals 490x plus 15. Let's go ahead and subtract that 15, huh? 36 minus 15 is 21. And then we divide by our 490. Now 49 and 21 have a common denominator of 7. So I know that 7 will go into both of these. 7 goes in 21 3 times. If it was just 49, 7 goes in there 7 times. So 490 would be 3 over 7. Perfect timing, my goodness. Okay, and that's an answer option 2. Sweet, so try out the other 4.